Failing to lock back a lot. Once upon a time we had a ton of what I call high value combat pistols. A lot of them have been sold, but we do have a few sticking around, and I have a couple of them on the table for this review. Let's introduce them. Product improved Ruger LC9 with the much improved trigger. I'll take a little bit of the credit for that because I ranted about how bad it was in the original version. Got a lot of heat for it. I was like, trigger sucks. They're like, no, it's awesome. You just don't know how to shoot. Well, they improved it, and the product improved LC9 is amazing. Watch my review. By the way, TD coated this in burnt bronze. Cerakote, that top. Great gun though, LC9. Consider the Canik TP9SA. That was improved by Canik. And this one is hot, coming out of a defensive system. I treat them all the same anyhow. It doesn't matter if they're hot or not. I'm not unloading it for the review. There you go. Great gun. Love the Canik TP9SA. And it comes in colorations too. I don't know if it's high value, but the Glock 19s right here, super cool. We're going to really compare the star of the show, the FMK 9C1 Gen 2 against it, because it's kind of a rip-off of that gun. Really, in form factor, it just totally is. I still have an SR9, dudes. What? Yeah, we used to have two. TNP bought the other one at one of our get-togethers. It's got a black one. It's got that stupid paddle sticking up, but it works. It's a good gun. The SR9 is still good. And the reason I have these, you know, decorating the centerpiece is because I want you to consider the philosophy of what we're talking about. And the philosophy is, I don't want to spend a lot of money on my handgun. Now, I got to tell you, I've never really understood this. To me, it's kind of a foolish game to play. Well, I really want a nickel and dime on a device that may or may not save my life one day. How about you just go buy a freaking Glock 19 and call it good? It's not that expensive. Get a used one. You get a used Glock 19 for what, 200, 250? I don't care how beat up it looks. It's still great. Yeah, but it doesn't look good. It's still got 100,000 rounds of life left in it. Like old Chuck Taylor's, you'll never outshoot it. Heck, if it's beat up, it's even cooler. I don't know, but guys do. And so now we come to the FMK 9C1 Gen 2, and we ask ourselves, well, why is this pistol being made? Well, the short answer, the honest answer, is because someone wants to make money, and good on them. I'm all for that. None of these guns would exist if they didn't want to make money. Ruger doesn't come out and say, hey, let's just do the world a favor and let's just improve the trigger and we won't make any money off it. We're just doing it as a favor to the world. No. They want to sell more LC9s. That's why they improve the trigger. Like, hey man, let's create a buzz, let's improve the trigger, give people what they want to have. And lo and behold, they have a gun that sells even better, and it injected new life into an old design. So now we have the LC9S, right? Which it is. I didn't say that at the outset. It's the Striker Fire version one. Cool. And so FMK does the same thing. Let's go back a few years, and this is kind of interesting and kind of irritating, to be totally honest with you guys. I talked to FMK like 4 years ago, and I said, hey, I went to SHOT Show, I met with them, they seemed like really nice people. I gave them a booth review like I always do, no charge, no strings attached. I saw Gen 1 of this pistol, and I said, hey, I'd really like to review that. That would be cool. Can I maybe hook into a loaner for review, and they're like, oh, absolutely, no problem. Just contact us. We'll send you on a loan. You can review it. I was like, okay, but you guys know how I roll. I mean, if it's good, I'll tell the world. If it's bad, I'll tell the world. And they're like, oh, yeah, no problem. Well, long story short, seriously, I contacted them about 7 different times. Phone calls, emails. They never returned my calls. They never sent me a loaner pistol. It was total crickets. Honestly, it was pretty unprofessional. I mean, if they don't want to review it, just say no. Say, you know, we were thinking about it. We're just, you know, good luck, you know, get your own. And that's cool. I'm an adult. I can handle that. I'd much rather have that than playing games. So FMK just play these games. And now upon this video's release, they'll go, oh, wait a minute, we never heard from you. No, bull crap, dudes. I tried and tried and tried. And I really don't know why, because it's such an obscure pistol. It's 4 years. It's taken me 4 years to get one, and we actually just went out and bought it. Just spent ad money on it. It's like, I'll just buy one. I kind of regret it now. Spoiler alert, I kind of regret it, because now, especially after this video, I'm not going to be able to sell it. Oh, I just gave the plot away. That sucks. It's not that bad. It's definitely not a non-recommend, but it's close. It's very close. And again, we consider other alternatives, and there's a lot more that are not on the table that are great alternatives around the same price level. And it is a value pistol, right? I'll get to those details here in just a second, but let's bounce into philosophy of use, shall we? Since it is basically kyping, it is the form factor of a Glock 19, it can function as a concealed carry pistol. I mean, look at these two guns. Do they not look very similar to you? The takedown levers are in the same position. The triggers look the same. Very, very similar. Hey, that dude's successful doing that. I want to go copy it and do it too. Oh my gosh, how often do we see that? Everywhere. We see it a lot here on YouTube. A lot. It's rare you'll have an original channel coming out with an original idea. Usually it's a, warmed over concept that's been out for a long time. Long time. But that doesn't mean it can't serve a function. It doesn't mean it can't find an audience and a fan base. It can. It can. Absolutely. Concealed carry pistol, would it function as that? Yeah, it totally could. I carry something smaller. Glock 43, PF9, sometimes a PPK. It's still kind of thick, you know. So is the Glock 19. But a lot of guys rock Glocks. Full-size Glocks all the time. And then standard philosophy of use thereafter. Home defense. Without rule of law. Primary, go to war handgun. Don't do that. No. I got a lot more in my playlist that I would much more prefer you to use than a FMK 9C1. Just saying. SAWC design and ergos. Let me get just a little bit of another rant out of the way. Thanks for bearing with me. You may find it funny. I actually like their manual. The manual's good. And towards the end of the manual, they'll go into the history of the company, why you made it, and big pro Second Amendment company. I love that. But one thing I don't really love is when they festoon the slide with all types of "In God We Trust," Second Amendment sayings, patriotic sayings. I just don't like that. I don't want a bunch of crap on my guns. Not that the sayings are crap, but I don't want a bunch of pandering things on my gun. I don't, and it's almost to me interpreted as a smokescreen for a product that may not be up to snuff. Maybe you're saying, you're doing a song and dance like, hey, look at us, we're pro Second Amendment. Hey, look at us, we believe in God. Hey, look at us, we're proudly American. Meanwhile, failure to go into battery, which happened many times with this gun during our shooting. Meanwhile, failure to lock back on an empty mag, which happened pretty much every time. So that's just me. Rant complete. Rant complete. 4-inch barrel on it. There is no mag safety, which I love in the Gen 2. The trigger has been improved. They call it a fast action trigger. Am I getting that right? For the FMK 9C1. It comes in 40, by the way, if I didn't say so. I think I have my trigger scale here. Let's pull it. I think it pulls pretty good. It's kind of deceptive in that it feels like it pulls stiffer than it does, which is kind of rare actually. Usually it's the other way around, right? Well, maybe it's not that great. I thought it pulled lighter than that. That's like an 8-pound pull. So many guns. That sucks. Almost a 9-pound trigger, so I guess it pulls about like it feels. Crappy. Here's your reset. Good. The trigger to me feels mushy, feels indistinct. If we compare it against a Glock, and a lot of guys criticize Glock, say, oh, I don't like trigger. I love the Glock trigger. I don't have any problems with it at all. Reset. I love it. And I can put a lighter connector in there and do all kinds of aftermarket modifications on said trigger if I want to. There is a chamber indicator in here. I'll probably roll in a chunk of video to show you what it looks like when it's loaded. I like that actually. That's pretty cool. Super low bore axis, ergonomically speaking. It feels really good in hand. It's got a great palm swell here. Interchangeable back straps, I believe. I showed you the case it came with right here. And it also has... Actually, not interchangeable back straps. I'm sorry, it doesn't. But it has extra sights on it. 2 magazines it comes with. Manual. The case is actually pretty excellent. I love the case on it. And then coming up here, you have an accessory rail, as you can see. Different milling on the slide of FMK 9C1. Different milling. Definitely not Glock in profile here. Sights are decent. Not bad. They seem to be pretty well regulated. We'll look at accuracy pretty quick. 14 rounds is your firepower, which is a little bit diminished over the competition, if you ask me. I don't know who's putting together the magazine, but I talked about how it was not locking back on the last shot. I suspect it's a follower issue. I don't look at the mags and come away impressed, though, and I go, oh, wow, that's a Metgar. I think they're making them in-house, but I could be wrong. It's... I don't know. Is it triple K? Ah, jeez, there's a look in here. We ran this gun pretty hard. We went up into the high mountains in the desert. Well, not that high, but high for a desert. And we got it dirty. I mean, I was basically throwing it in the dirt. I was just like, let's get this thing dirty and see what it'll do. It actually did pretty good on that outing. I'm not going to lie. It did good. I mean, it is having some problems at the indoor range. Anyways, but take it from me, it was not locking back. I actually wasn't going into battery a lot of times, and that takes us to track record. Is that a huge issue for me? These days, kind of it is. The SR9 had that same problem. I mean, if you go back and look at my SR9 reviews, circa, what, 08, 09, I actually was like 09, maybe into 10. We had an SR9, it might have been this one, I forget. It's having the same issue. Failure to go into battery, failure to go into battery, different ammunition types, which we did with this. Failure to go into battery. And I sent it back to Rigger. They fixed it. Now it's fine. Same can be said with FMK, is that you could send it back. I'm pretty sure they'll get it working for you. And I actually took the gun apart, had it polished up a little bit, thought that would help. Issue persisted. So with it, what I consider a full-size combat style pistol, LC9S here, notwithstanding, they should work out of box. There should be no break-in periods. It should just work. I suspect there might be a recoil spring assembly problem, but the problem is it's not a Glock. I can't go over Wolf Springs and start experimenting with different weights. I didn't really break it apart and say, hey man, does this fit?
Well done.
Can I put this spring from another gun in there? I'm not going to do that. I'll just send it back to FMK. They can fix it. I think there was a story too, other people were having the same issue. Failure to go into battery, and I think the company said, hey, you guys are limp wristing it. Otherwise it functions perfect for us. No, I doubt it. For my shooting, it's the product. It's the gun itself. Front side, I think, was even handing these out back in 2013. I think they stopped doing that. let's look at accuracy. I'll call the accuracy, and I did shoot it quite a bit. I'm only going to show you 2 targets. I'll call it average. Average. So this is whatever yards it is. I honestly forget. I'm a pretty good pistol shot when given time. I can easily, with a Glock 19, heck, any of these guns, SR9, even that one, I can easily put them in the black. 7 yards, even 10 yards I can do it. But this one, it just kind of opened up. I think these were doubles, and I wish I could show you that video, but I think it's bye-bye. And this is a horrible group. 1, 2, 3, and none on that one. Remington Gold Saber, not great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm pretty sure these two belong to that group. I don't think I was shooting up here. I might have been, though. Fiocchi Hollow Point. It was reliable with all these loads, although, again, failure to go into battery multiple times. Here. It's average, dude. I was not impressed with the accuracy. I wasn't impressed with the trigger either. Not really impressed with the firepower. I am impressed with the form factor, though. Maybe that's because I love the Glock 19 so much. I mean, it is very small. It feels great in hand, like I said. And it has a great magazine release. Like I said, I love the gray polymer. It looks really good. I got the version that has minimalized stains on the side. So this one's actually pretty clean. All I got here is a proudly American, thank you, Armed Forces. I can live with that. Hey, I'm a vet, you know. So it's cool. I just like low key, man. I don't need a lot of crap. But stains on my gun, scroll work on my gun. It's kind of like those collectible guns that have all that, like Iwo Jima scenarios engraved on the side. I don't think they sell that great. I really don't. I see a lot of them in pawn shops. I think guys at one time said, oh, this is so cool. Whatever it is, you know, a John Wayne Special Edition 3030. They just sit around. They're supposed to be collectible. I don't think a lot of guys like them. There you go. Accessories. Sorry, FMK, more bad news. Since you are such an outlier in the industry, there's really not that many accessories that are purpose-built. Now, can I go out and find Kydex leather or whatever universal holster, whatever type you want, like inside the waistband, outside the waistband, shoulder holster that will fit this gun? Yeah, and probably it's going to be one size for a Glock 19. Probably. But like I said, trigger enhancements, sight enhancements, I don't really see the dovetail. Maybe it matches another pistol. Recoil spring, you know, projects, magazines, it's kind of its own animal. So that's the downside there. So accessories, I think you're going to be kind of on Hard Street there, trying to find it. Let me say this, and this is just a word of advice for FMK if they watch this video. I don't want you to stop making the FMK. That's not what I'm saying. What I want you to do is improve it. I think you should improve the trigger. You should make it absolutely reliable to fix the reputation that it has now, which is not good. And this video kind of goes in line with that. No apologies. The truth is truth. You need to give a test target shot in box. So when your customer opens this up, there's a test target and it has signed, such and such test fired this gun, so many rounds, we certify it to be ready to go to war. Absolutely. And give your customers options to have no stains whatsoever on it. And then improve the magazine. I mean, it not locking back last shot, that is, I'm sorry, that's just unforgivable. It was both magazines too. It came with 2 mags. We tried it. This is I think the gun could be rescued, and I think it could be pretty popular. Like I said, it's super lightweight. I didn't even mention that. It's the same weight as a Glock. It's like 24 ounces. It doesn't weigh anything. Value, therefore, I would say is not very high because I don't think you're getting an awesome product. Value is not just money. A lot of people get confused at that. Not TNPers, but a lot of non-TNPers do. You know, value is it awesome? Does it deliver what it says it delivers? If the answer is yeah, then dude, your money's well spent. I mean, I've brought guns to the table that are $1,000 and I say they're high value. Why? Because they're delivering it. Not just first cool, but second cool. Intrinsically, you just love it. A lot of the guns well, I won't say a lot, but some of the guns do that. Glock does it for me. Second cool. I love Glocks.
The best carry pistols
Back in 1989, when I bought my first Glock 19, I used to watch TV and fondle it all the time. I'm talking about the gun.
Double tap.
Yeah, the other thing too. But the Glock, dude, it does it for me. It's 2 kinds of cool. FAMIC, it's kind of dug itself into a hole, in my opinion, and it can dig out, but it takes time. It takes time, and Honestly, what would really do it, and this is a total fantasy wish, it won't happen, is if a department adopted it. Well, it won't happen. There's no way. Politically, it will never happen. If you're the head of even a small sheriff's department, and you go, hey man, we're going to adopt the FMK, people would look at you like, what? What did you say? And getting back to my intro, considering the players on the table, if I'm that dude making that decision, you know, the LC9S is more of a backup pistol. It's not a primary sidearm. But I would go with all three of these with this versus that current version. Hey, we're going to do SR9 as a department pistol, which I think would be a dumb idea, but not because it's unreliable. It's just ergonomically, I don't like the trigger. I still think it sucks. But it has great rounds capability. It's been ironed out, so it's reliable now. It's lightweight. It fits most officers' hands. Definitely the Glock. I mean, Glock 20s are run around all, not 20s, but Glock 22s are run around all the time. 19s, 17s, 34s, 35s. You know the Glock story. Heck, the Canik TP9SA. That's one of the best pistols on this table. I don't know if you know that. Go watch my reviews on the Canik. It's funny. No one was talking about the Canik. Got one. I started reviewing it. And I was like, gosh, this is a great pistol. It's like a licensed Walther P99, and it's amazing. I would choose this gun all day long over that one. It's not even close. Now, it's a bigger gun, but it has a lot more rounds, and it doesn't weigh that much more. TP9. But this, I consider the TP9 a value pistol. I mean, they have gone up since I reviewed them. Supply and demand, it just happens, but they're still pretty affordable. You get it occasionally in different colors. Black is almost always available. Occasionally you get in that super cool tan. So there you go. FMK 9C1. Also, they have the 40 caliber version. I think it can be fixed. I think it can be a great pistol. It will take some time. It will take a little bit of reorganization on this pistol. You should have zero failures of any kind. The trigger should be improved a little bit more. And the option for maybe more firepower too. 14 rounds in today's markets. I don't know if a lot of guys dig that. If you want to carry concealed, the 14 round makes a lot of sense. And that's a lot of rounds to carry concealed versus like, you know, an 8+1 or 7+1. Just a couple ideas. You know, free of charge from the Nutnfancy project. Complete.